it's like, well, it's not just about the content. It's like having a full, I hate using the word, but a full strategy session on, right, why do we create content in the first place? What is the problem that they solve? What is the offer that they have? And then we feed that into the content that then feeds into a nurturing process that gets people who view your stuff into general inquiries for your business.
Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Bulletproof Studios podcast.
We're back.
We are back. So today we're going to talk about how we are rebuilding our business basically from scratch, which we mentioned in the first episode.
Is it from scratch though? We're basically doubling down and recreating or reinventing what we do as a business. I know you don't like that word. I'm reinventing myself.
Oh, it just sounds like someone who needs to go and find themselves in Australia.
That'd be nice. You want to do that?
No.
Nah?
A bit busy.
Okay.
Got a lot going on just now. Got a lot on my plate.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. How you been?
Excellent.
You been good?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I missed you. I've not seen you in a while.
Yeah, this is the thing with being in a business with your husband. You don't miss each other.
Yeah, that can be a later episode that we do.
I know, that's a lie though. I think you do miss each other running a business. I think people don't get this is another episode, but I think people don't get that. Like, even though we spend 20 out of 24 hours a day, if you include sleeping time together, I think you still miss each other because it's not really like together.
Connection.
It's like business. And then when we're out for dinner, it's business.
That's why date nights are important, guys. Anyway, you've got a little we're sort of finding our feet with this podcast, or the structure of what the podcast is going to be about. Today's episode is going to be about the rebuilding of our business, and that all starts with, what do you sell, or what product or products do you sell to your customers? And I think the angle, we're going to show you what we've done, but talk also in a way where you can also apply and take some advice to your own business or your own thing that you sell or your own content that you make. But before we get into that, you came up with...
Yeah, we're going to rate our week. So we're recording this
each week.
Friday, but it won't go out till next week. But we're going to rate our week each week in terms of business, creativity, relationships, and chaos/stress. So
is that all going into one, or is it different numbers for each one of them?
We could do different numbers for each one, and then you've got an overall number.
Right, okay.
So I'll let you go first. So
it's quite fitting. So this has been officially one whole week, maybe a little bit longer, on building our business.
Yeah, I think it is longer. I think it's just, though, we've been half doing it while doing loads of other people's work, half like focusing on client work while doing ours, where we've actually taken a wee bit of a pause, which we'll talk about in a second. And it's been probably 2 weeks of full on, right, let's focus on our business, let's rebuild it type thing. So in the last week, I actually think it's funny because if I asked you this last week,
I'd have said 2.
I don't even think we would have got a score as high as 2. Everything was like a 1. If I asked you last week, business 1, creativity 1.
Oh, it was going well.
Yeah, but anyway, that was last week's a new week, and I manifested good vibes at the start of the week, and we're having a much better week.
That manifestation.
You're obviously not manifesting correctly if you're not believing in it.
Do you believe, before we get into this manifestation?
To an extent, yes. I think if you come out with a bad attitude, you're going to get bad outcome. What did I tell you before? Bad attitude breeds bad outcome. Positive attitude breeds a positive outcome.
Okay.
Do you not believe that?
No, I do.
Don't get me wrong, I could come in here.
You still need to work hard though.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't get me wrong, I could just come in here and be like, oh, everything's great, and not do it, and be like, it's fine.
I heard the debate, where someone's like, nah, all that mindset crap, it's nothing. You just need to take action, you just need to go after it. But sometimes you need the mindset to take the action, so I agree with you there.
It's a bit of both. I'm not the type of person who goes in the mirror and says
you got this, Jill.
Affirmations, that's what it is. I've tried that before and it just doesn't work for me. Not that type of person. But I feel like...
Have you tried that?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I can't say right now.
You're like, strong, powerful woman. You got this.
Why do you have to make it cheesy like that?
No, I'm saying, is it cheesy lines or does it...
Yeah, sometimes I do it on a long run or a hard run where I'm like, this is shit, I can't do this run. Where I'm in my head, I'm like, no, you can do this. You can do this. You're a strong runner. you can do it, you can get over this.
Okay.
Just keep doing it, stuff like that. So I talk to
Do
myself.
you know, speaking of this, we've got a whiteboard in our garage that we wrote 2022 goals on.
I think it's
and
2023.
No, it's 2022.
No, it's 2023 because Ben wrote on it.
All right.
That's
So
what
it's
you're trying to say.
2023. We wrote our goals for 2023. And I wrote at the top, be the hardest worker in the room and the smartest worker. That's an affirmation, I guess.
There you go.
So I take back what I said. I do believe in them.
And those 2023 goals are still on that whiteboard, and
I
we've
know.
not updated them
I
or
know.
achieved many. But
No, we
that's
have
changed.
got more bones for Cooper. We
Yeah.
spend more time together.
Yeah, that was
We were in business together, so like we did.
things changed.
Right, hit me with it then. What am I doing?
Right, rate your week. 1 out of 10. Scale of 1 to 10, business wise.
1 being the best.
No, 1 being the worst. Why would 1 be the best? And a sliding
I
scale.
don't want to finish 10th in a race. I want to finish first.
But on a sliding scale, when I say rate this out of 10,
Okay.
if you to rate a person out of 10, if you say 1, it means shit.
Might mean good to some people. Right, so business
Yeah.
as a whole this week has been, I would say, I'd say a 7/8. I think it's been a good week. There's been lots of learning on we use a CRM system that just basically it's where we host our clients that we currently work with, and there's lots of automation in there, landing pages, messaging services and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of time is spent on that, but I feel that time was needed to understand the software at a deeper level. Implementing AI to it as well to help with that, phone numbers and all sorts. Opportunity, I honestly thought we'd get to today and we'd be able to market our services. So that's the only reason I'm kind of ranking it down, because we aren't really driving new business in that so ultimately the business isn't growing just now, but it's a necessary step. So I'd say 7/8 out of 10. Quite happy with what's been built. I think there's just a couple more things that over the course of today and tomorrow I would like our lead magnet to be built, and our automations off the back of that, where we can start building our email list. And you said it yesterday and I was kicking myself that we've never done it yet. Actual email, our current email list. Hey guys, here's what we're doing.
Yeah, because we've got a decent email list now. We've got like...
Ironically, that's what today's episode's going to cover, because it's like, here's some tips and tricks. Business for you, how would you rate it?
I'd maybe be about a 6 or a 7, and I think it's the same reason that you've said, because I think we've been learning a lot and working on our business. I think just it's not a frustration, I guess, but it's just more like we're quite impatient because we just want more business in, but we can't get more business in until we advertise and get our stuff sorted. Like, we could technically go out and say, yeah, let's get more clients, and I'm confident we'll get them, but we're not, like, our systems, I think they all, like what you just said, they almost are, but they weren't in place, we're a bit messy, our onboarding wasn't great, that kind of stuff, so we could technically get clients in, but
Do you know what?
It's
Like,
just...
Jill spoke about the week before and why we'd rank that so low. That was one of the reasons. That was a shit week. So we took on a client, we said we'd help them out, we'd do stuff. We built a lot of stuff. We skipped the first 3 initial steps, and it ended up causing more work, more stress, and ultimately led to a fallout, and not a fallout, but an agreement that if we're going to do this for this client, then they need to be more hands off, and they weren't willing to be hands off, and it was like, right,
not
cool.
a fallout between me and you.
No,
So
and they
it's
had
like...
to, yeah, but ultimately that's a perfect example as to why we had to work. It's the cheesy saying, we had to work on our business, our operation systems.
I
Like,
hate that phrase, working on the business instead of in the business.
yeah, but what did it mean?
Needs to be done.
Like specific, what was specific things that we needed done?
Like the onboarding process, the like offer, like what we actually offer, and
An
I think
actual
that's...
page.
I think a lot of people miss that because they're like, oh, I just really need clients, I need money, and let's just go out. And it's like, but it's we've learned that the hard way, because in the long run, it's not helped us. We've just said, yep, we'll do everything, but not really focusing on what our core offer is.
Yeah.
It's a good
A bit
segue.
of foreshadowing there. Cool.
Creativity, out of 10, rate it for this week.
How do you define creativity? What would you say?
Well, I'll answer first because you answered the last one. I felt I was just copying you. So I'd say our creativity has been quite high this week, maybe like an 8 or a 9, because I put our creativity in what we've been doing, like creating our back end stuff, but then also like our videos, we spent a lot more time on like who do we want to be known as for our videos. We've spent a lot of time, me, you and Fraser sat down and said, right, these are our brand guidelines, which again took us a wee while to do, but it makes it so much.
Maybe explain that more, because I feel like that's another like
What brand
wanky word.
guidelines? It's because I worked
I've
in
got my
brand.
brand guidelines, but
So like your brand
it's important.
guidelines are basically like, so whenever we post on social media, we now have the font that we'll use for our captions, our headlines in our videos, any sub headlines, anything like that. We know what colours we're going to use. We know what kind of like vibe we want to give our brand vibe. That's such a better word than brand guidelines. Brand
Who is
vibe.
it that doesn't like vibe? Is it Sam? Is
Yeah.
it stop using the word vibe?
I like the word vibe. I'll vibe if I want to vibe. So like that was something we've done that I think it was really good for the three of us to work together. When like when people see our videos, we want them to know that's Bulletproof Studios, and that is an example of something that took us a wee bit longer to do, but makes Fraser's job and our job in the long run so much quicker, because he doesn't need to think, does that font go with that? Does that go with that?
Yeah, the process is easy.
We have our template, so I think that was creative in doing that, and I think also now we're doing that for our current clients, and every new client we've got to onboard, that'll be part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
And then on a side note, I think the videos that we've been doing, we've been thinking how, instead of just putting videos out, we've been thinking, right, how do we do them differently? What's working for other people? How can we take inspiration for that? How can we change it up?
Just even a structure.
Yeah, just having that structure, I think that's really helped. And our favourite video with the baby sick, if you've not seen it, check our
It's
Instagram.
disgusting.
Baby sick
Disgusting.
into the cup.
But yeah, yeah.
So I'd say creativity was quite high this week.
Yep.
What about you?
Same.
See, this is
Same,
why.
No, you're right. It was good. It was good to actually just create content for our own business, and we've obviously banked a bit of content that makes, like, it's all about consistency as well. So not being too serious where it's sale. It's like, what's pieces of content that we can create that's actually going to give back. Podcasting, this is an element of it.
Yeah, again,
Like,
that's
we started
creativity.
that this week as well. So it's fun. Yeah, I'd say that.
Relationship. You can go first. Rate that out of 10. How our relationship's been this week.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. I think we've been good. I think this week's been pretty solid. We have been a bit feisty with each other on a couple of days, but it never led to like anything big. It was like
Bickers.
like bickers.
What are you rating it?
We kind of had like a mini date last night. No?
Do you want to know what Dale's mini date is? I'm looking at like, what mini date have we had this week? What did we do last night? We sat on the couch, watched Alex Hormozy while I edited a podcast, and you were looking up stuff.
We normally, like, we're pretty regimented with the food that we eat and all that sort of stuff. And yesterday you were like, I'm craving a Domino's. And I was like, well, we've not had a Domino's in 2 years. Let's go get a Domino's. I feel that was spontaneous. And I was like, right, cool, let's do it. That meant a lot to me. So I'm going to say 9 out of 10. And then we've got a fun activity at the weekend as well.
We do.
Going to make some cookies.
Yes, I'm excited for that. Might eat them when they're like half baked.
Maybe.
Also Domino's, I'm over it again.
Yeah, shite. I feel like Domino's, man.
Craving
Enhance your taste buds. Right, so is that it? Oh, sorry, you rate it.
I'd say it's been good this week. I think we have bickered a wee bit, but I think we bicker more when we're tired and stressed, which just relates into it, but it's been a good week. Then last one is stress level.
I don't like this one. I don't like that as a category. Stress level.
Chaos. Then.
Chaos, nah. I feel
at the start of the week, my chaos/stress level was really high. And it feels better now towards the end of the week.
But it's business.
I know, it's just, but it's, again, I think it's going to get better when we're organised, because at the start of the week I was like, oh my god, we've got this to do, we've got that to do, we've got this to do, so much to do. Now at the end of the week I'm like, oh, we've actually done a load, and it's made it easier going forward.
Why don't we change this last one to a lesson of like practical feedback we can talk about that we've learned from this week? So yours would be that although the list might seem overwhelming, there's actually something to be said about once you start ticking some of the boxes, you get more momentum.
I think putting it all down on a to-do list, that's what I like. And ticking it off, because it just makes me feel better when I see ticks.
Yep.
And get things done.
Cool.
Fabulous. So,
right, let's get into
overall, what was the week?
I would say the week's been like a good 7/8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like with business, relationship, What was the other one?
Creativity.
Business, creativity, relationship, and the overall theme.
Cool.
Sounds good. Right, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this week. So, off the back of this, why do you always look at me when I say that phrase?
It's not a phrase that we
Meat
say.
and potatoes?
It's not a phrase we
Yes,
say.
it is. The meat and potatoes. Like the good. Like when you go out for dinner and you have a dessert or a starter, or something, but the main course is the meat and potatoes.
Let's get in the main course. That makes more sense.
Nah, meat and potatoes.
I've never said that phrase in my life.
Anyway, what are we talking about? So we're looking over what?
I guess like we first start off, we kind of said it already, but like what made us realise we needed to rebuild our business or take a step back and think, right, is this working? Why is it not working, or why it is? Because we had quite a few really good months where we had good amount of income coming in. We were pretty, like, we were happy with how things were going income wise, but thought, right, we still need to grow. Like, we'd like to bring another person in. We want to do this kind of stuff. So what made us think, no, actually this isn't working?
I think the income side of things, though, for me was there was a coaching income coming in as well. That was sprucing it up and giving it a bit of more plump and fluff. But so week one of any business, or when you go to start any business, you think to yourself, right, what am I going to do? What's the skill set I have to sell to other people in exchange I can get money and do the thing that I love? So when we look at our skill set, we were podcasting. We're like, okay, we've got a podcast studio, and the coaching side of things was there, and it was sort of, yes, there was income and money coming in, but our time was split, and it's like, right, we need to go all in on one thing. So let's do away with the coaching, go all in on this podcasting business. And then the next thing to do was like, right, let's look at the podcasting business model. So you book your podcast, we get money, and that's it. And it was like, right, do we look at a recurring revenue model? Do we, so first things first is like, how much capacity can we have? We've got 2 rooms, we could book them out. Let's say we could get 3 podcasts in one day.
No, we've done more before. We've done like 5 in one day.
Yeah, but it's been from the one. Well, yeah, like so. But I think we've done the average 3 bookings per day, 5 days a week, across the month. What's the top line revenue that comes in with that? And it was barely breaking 10 grand. And from a business perspective, we don't take a wage, but if we're going to put a wage of someone's in there, as you like, okay, down to 8 grand minus taxes, and then you've got the running costs, and it's like, this doesn't have as much potential as what we thought it did.
Yeah.
But then we've got the add-on services, which is what was the next conversation. So I was like, okay, we get people to come on their podcast. We started doing thumbnail designs. We do short edits for their content to republish on their social media. And then we have this system that we use in the back end that can create automations for them. And it was like, right, what do we do? Do we just sell all those services individually? And I think that's what we started doing. Actually,
we recorded videos. Me and Fraser sat down and recorded videos in each service, and I think
so
it started
6
to
hours. We actually spent 6 hours on this.
But like those videos we'll still use to an extent
because
but we started doing like the videos that were easy, like the podcasts, the remote podcasts, and all that kind of stuff. And then it came to videos that's like, right, we offered email marketing. Let's do a video on what we do there. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what to say in this video because like, we offer emails, cool. Like, but that as a standalone product, that doesn't make sense for us. Like, it's a whole funnel, it's a whole journey, and that's where the emails come in. Like that, and I think that's what made us realise as well. Being like, this isn't.
It was very messy, and number one, when you create the thing that you're going to sell to someone, if it's hard to explain it, you don't know it well. That was like one of the points you had written down, and it's so true. And that was an eye opener. I was like, right, let's really think about this. So the next whole part of this conversation became, why do people podcast? Like, why do people create content in the first place? Well, some category fall into the influencer side of things and the brand deals, and they want to have some sort of personal brand that they can then live off of and get paid for. And it's like, right, okay, is that a category of people that we've helped in the last couple of years? Not really. And those who've kind of fell into that category, it's not something that we couldn't do. It's just something that, I don't know, that it never really interested me. Did it interest you?
I think
the influencer brand deal side of things.
I think the brand deal still can be quite interesting, but I think a few that we've had, they either haven't lasted or they've hopped onto a new trend or something like that type thing.
And you find that with this influencer category, they're almost like there's an arrogance or too big for their boots to begin with, and there's like a lot of expectations of becoming free. Like we'll do this for free and we can promote the podcast studio. And it's like, right, cool, but like, how am I going to get business from that? And we've done a couple of ones and it just never really amounted to much. On the flip side of things, the podcast that we've seen a lot of potential with was businesses. And that's where it became, right, okay, if we go after businesses and we say that podcasting can be a great content strategy, what can be like a product that we help them with? And it's like, right, we help them create content. Is that where we want to stop? And it's like, well, it's not just about the content. It's like having a full, I hate using the word, but a full strategy session on, right, why do we create content in the first place? What is the problem that they solve? What is the offer that they have? And then we feed that into the content that then feeds into a nurturing process that gets people who view your stuff into general inquiries for your business. And that's where it sort of evolved to.
Because I think in the past we've had clients where we film their content and package it up for them and give them it, and then that's it done. We say like, see you next month, see you whenever when you need content again, and you see them posting it, which is fine. Content looks good, but then they don't come back. So they're like, oh, I didn't really see any results from it. But it's like, is it the content or is it the fact that you've not got a journey after it? You're saying to people, you're maybe putting the link in the caption, which doesn't work because you can't click a link in a caption.
There's so many variables though.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. But it's like then, like we've had a client where they've focused about 5 of their videos on a certain service that they really want to push. But then when you go on their website, that service is nowhere to be found on their website. Yeah. So if I went to inquire, I'm like, I don't know anything about this. So it's like, how do we help you connect the dots? Because we can... For you in the long run, it's better, but also for us, because we want you to be a recurring client that comes back to us every month.
Yeah. So the comparison I'll make this to is like, we had so the reason we revamped our service because we were just reactive. Someone inquires, it's like, I want to record a podcast studio, and we're like, okay, cool, come in, you can use our podcast studio. Here's your podcast, see you later. Other things we started doing was, oh, can we use your videography services because we want to create content? We know you guys create high quality content. Yep, no problem. Boom, done. Here's your edited videos. And the next part of that, like you said, there's that circle where it's like you see it getting posted and maybe it gets posted with the wrong frames, or even if it gets posted correctly, there's just no set steps afterward to really convert or even ask the question, why are you creating content? What is the end goal from this? Mm-hmm. Is it to create authority in your business niche or network or social media? Is it to sell something? Is it to promote a testimonial side of things? And everyone just thinks, right, once I create this amazing video, that's it. But that's the analogy that I'll bring it back to is a health and fitness analogy. That's like going out a run and going, I've not lost weight. It's like, well, there's a bigger component to this. Running will help you lose weight. Building muscle or going to the gym will help you build muscle, but it's not going to happen in one session. Yeah. It's not going to happen in a couple of sessions. It needs to tie into the bigger picture. Are you sleeping right? You're doing all this sort of stuff. So I think that's like a good way to tie it to. And that became the first thing that we started doing. So
when it goes back to ours, that's what we were doing. We were posting content, but not really.
No, for no reason.
Like,
it's like
DM us for
ticking a box.
DM us to get booked in. Like,
and don't get me wrong, like that strategy still brought in business.
Yeah, it did, but it capped us. Like
the most effective way to be a better marketer is the other components. And that breaks down to the very first point. So the first point in this whole journey is building an offer. So how would you define what an offer is for a business?
I think your offer is what services or products you provide. But I think a lot of business owners or a lot of whoever it is struggle with a lot of the time is to describe what they do, not their outcome. So I think the example like we were talking about earlier, like a videographer might come and say like, I'll record and edit you 5 videos. But if you to like turn that to like the actual outcome, it's like, I'll help you get 10 qualified leads with the content we shoot. Like that is much better offer than I'll come and record and edit 5 videos.
Even some videographers is like, I record in a Sony FX3 and 60 frames per. Like they're talking about the equipment. It's like coaching. It's like, oh, I use this software and I do this, and it's like there's so many things that businesses focus, because they like it is great to have an amazing camera, but that's
'Cause
only
to
great
us,
to you.
like,
Yeah,
because we'll see that and be like, oh, I want that
that looks
camera.
cool.
Like, I want
Yeah.
that lens. But like the average business owner, unless they're really like geeky about their cameras, but the thing is, if they are really geeky about their cameras, they're probably doing it themselves. They've got somebody in house to do it. But I think that's like changing. Don't look at like what you do. What is the outcome for the client? What is their pain problem? So is their problem
Problem.
pain problem pain problem
It's hard, isn't it? I remember doing a
pain
video on
problem? Yeah.
there's a problem.
What is our pain point? Like, is it clients? Okay, the videos that we shoot together will help you get 10 leads rather than I'll give you 10 videos like that. We'll shoot and edit. Like, that's.
I don't know who this podcast or who our audience is going to end up being on this podcast. Existing business owners, yes, like it's that part. But if you're thinking about starting a business as well, like where you start with is your skill set, and that's why I wanted to touch on that point. It's like what's things that we do well, where we do email marketing, we do videography, we do podcasting, and it's like right. The next step there is then package that up into what you're saying there. It's like right, what's the problem that your client avatar or your client or customer may have, and that's where you start to craft it. And in crafting our offer, it was quite hard. We were going back and forth because we started right. Okay, they've got a problem with creating content, so we'll create the content for you. And it was like right, cool. What other problems did they have? Well, sometimes they can't post it or they don't have the time to post it, and it's like, okay. Some clients that we've worked with, we've posted their clients the content for them. Does that offer become better versus other agencies or other videographers? Like we can film and edit your content for you, and then we're like, oh, we can film, edit, and post it. And then the next branch was like, right, okay, who's doing the filming? Well, we want to probably be involved with the what do you call it?
Like the scripting.
Scripting, sorry. So it's like, okay, we can script, edit, film, and post. It's like, right, okay, what else can we do? You just keep going, what else until you've exhausted those options. And that's where we got to. It's like, okay, we'll research, we'll plan, like we'll understand what the problem is that you solve as a business, and we'll come in and we'll do everything from the content to the back end systems to that customer inquiry through to your business.
And even with clients who, it's not even just clients that I think are starting out. There's clients that have been in business for a while, but they were maybe like us. They were just offering everything just for the sake of it to get money in or just to keep everybody happy. Like we can also sit, like part of that offer is like we'll sit down and understand what your offer actually is, what you should be focusing on. Like you've done it with clients where, like one recently this week we were at, and you were just spitting out all the ideas, and this person's been in business for years and years as an expert in their industry, is successful, but just basically just wants a bit more. And you were spitting out all these ideas that they've never thought of, because sometimes it just helps someone coming in from an outsider view, being like, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? And they're like, no, that's like, why are we not doing that?
She's like, you need to work here.
And they're like, can you just work
no,
here?
no,
And I
you're
was
like,
no,
that's our marketing component. That's why they use us for our services, because those ideas, like, I think every business owner needs to understand them, needs to have their own ideas, needs to be involved with marketing in some way. But when you look at your time, and if you're a business owner and you're spending time editing, you're spending time producing, scripting, filming, and then posting, and then on the backhand, what else are you doing? Well, you've got the management of your staff, you've got the delivery of the product, you've got
like invoices, you've got
you've got the bills, tax, accountants, calls, and then that's just to do with the business. You are a human being at the end of the day that has a family, has friends, has a life to live. And that whole marketing component, I think understanding it and being able to direct it and contribute, and using an agency or even hiring someone in-house is such a great move to do.
I think it is like, Hermosi said this a lot before, and we will quote Hermosi a lot in podcasts because it's where we get all our knowledge type thing. But it's like once you realise, like, either you don't want to do the thing that you have to do in your business, or you're not very good at it, outsource it. So like for us, we started to try and do our own accounts. Absolutely useless at it, don't understand it, right, get an accountant. And I think that's probably the first thing that a lot of businesses do, because no one really understands accounts, like things like that. So it's like, you don't understand marketing, you don't really like doing it, or you don't know what to do. That's why you hire somebody.
I don't know why with marketing seems to be one that is a hard one for businesses
I
to
think
let
a
go
lot of
of.
people don't believe in it still. It's
Yeah.
not, which is wild because the marketing's like been around for hundreds of years.
But I think that's
like,
why, because I think the marketing stuff almost reminds me of like the personal training side of things. It can be, this is the way to lose weight. No, this is the way to lose weight. And marketing's the same. It's like,
there's
this
so
is how
many
you get
different
quality
channels.
leads. This is how you get quality leads. And it's like, they're all right to some extent. And it's about finding, it's a whole it depends statement on your business and what you do. And just because it's not working doesn't mean it's the marketing component. It could be something with those back end systems. Like you're saying you're selling something and you're messaging, but when they get to the landing page or get to the page to inquire, it says something completely different. Or the box isn't working, or the technical components that come off the back of that. But it's an interesting one.
Like
It was
everything needs to
interesting.
work full circle.
Yeah. So creating your offer then has to be, this is sort of the standing or the very first point in your journey. Now, with the offer, the best advice that I've seen over the last couple of months and why we've sort of scaled back on what we actually do, is create one offer that does one thing. And I think this is another thing people run into with business. So we were like, we do email marketing, we do videography, we do podcasts, we do this. And it's like, right, we actually need to step back and go, no, we do this. And there's different packages within that, but ultimately it's this service. And if I think to what some examples we can, like I'm a prime example, I started coaching, and started doing small group coaching, online coaching, in-person coaching. And then I had a podcast and a podcast studio. And then I had my own place where I was renting it out to people. I had all these different ways of collecting money, and it kept me stuck. And it's so hard when, like, we never want to leave money on the table as business owners, but we need to double down on the thing that we know we're good
works
at.
out better in the
So
end.
when you're creating your offer, get rid of all the dead weight. Like, because there's an extent we need to drop the podcasting side of things, like people coming in podcasting only, because our main offer is going to be, we do done for you content for business owners. Right now we're transitioning with that, and we can't just drop all those clients or not have that as an income stream coming in. But it's like, we're not going from this point going forward in our business, we're not promoting we're a podcast studio.
Yeah,
We're promoting we're a content marketing agency.
I think the podcast part of it is still like part of the content, because someone who might come in still to record a podcast and want us to do all their content off the back of it, that's where they script the content and stuff like that. So I still think
I'm not saying we don't
podcasting will
use the
be
studio,
part
but
of
I'm
it.
just saying, like, we don't, like, we've done ads in the past. It's like, do you have a podcast? And you watch that, like that, they're irrelevant now. So so that point there is, you got your offer, and when you're thinking about your offer, think on the one thing and get good at that one thing first.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed advice in this, but like, don't create a second revenue channel until you make £1 million. And then one podcast I was listening to yesterday, what's that girl's name?
Cody Sanchez.
Yeah, Cody Sanchez had somebody on the podcast who created multiple different businesses and sold them and that, and he says you shouldn't sell a second thing until you make 10 million. I was like, holy shit. And this is a good thing to do, actually. Look at the industry you're in and look at the revenue, and usually it's billions. And you're like, you've not even scratched the surface with 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 grand. Like, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Just like, and that's why if you get really good at what you do and what you offer and that process, that then allows you to get better at the delivery, the onboarding, the sequence, the journey, the customer experience. And it just makes it easier and easier. And that's what separates you from anyone else. So if it's a roofing business, a property business, like, you can get better and better at that one thing. Like, you become the go-to
expert,
person for that one thing.
You become known for it.
So that's where we've started. Will we go into anything else here?
I think the other thing as well is like part of your offer. So we've spoken about describing what the outcome is rather than your features, describing on like the problems you're solving. But I think another part of it is as well as like standing out. Like, so a lot of people will look at, right, what are my competitors doing? I'm just going to do the same. What are other people doing? Right, it's working for them, so let's just copy it. But it's like, how do you stand out instead of blending in? I think that needs to be part of your offer. So you've got your offer, you know what your outcome is, you know what you're going to focus on. How do you stand out and make sure you're the go-to person in that market?
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you said there. You're like, doubling down on something, but it's like being creative with your content, being creative with your offer. I think that's important rather than just looking at what everybody else is doing and
Yeah,
copying.
in Hormozy's book, Offers is really one of the first parts of his journey. Selling the same thing is a race to the bottom. Like you become a commodity, I think he says it is. Is that the right word? So that's where you have your business that is a podcast studio. I have my business that's a podcast studio. It's like we record podcast. You're like, we record podcast. Customer enters into the market and goes, okay, what podcast do they like? Okay, their room looks different to their room. That's a choice.
Yeah.
But ultimately, anyone can recreate these rooms. Anyone can buy these cameras. Anyone can do this background. If it becomes the same product, it becomes they're £10 cheaper than that. So I'm going to go with the cheaper because I'm getting the same service. But then with your offer, if you go, one podcast studio is like, we'll get it back to you within 7 days. One podcast studio goes, we can get it back to you within 6 hours. That's an element. That's an element of changing the offer.
Yeah.
And could they copy you to do the 6 hours? Maybe, but that's where you start stacking some different value. So think to yourself when you're creating this, think about those pain points and how do you solve those pain points and what makes you solving those pain points differently to someone else. Personal training, I'll always come back to this because it's where my first, I guess, business journey started. Cooper's lying next to us, but he's just dreaming just now, and
I think he's running.
I think he's running and he's dreaming. It's so cute. When you actually get a third camera on him, we just cut to it. So personal training, for example, everyone solves fat loss. Fat loss is a very generic thing. Most people go into fat loss. But another, like, making my offer better, that where I could speak to someone specifically in that market, was niching down to the whole idea of, look, fat loss is I can help you with fat loss, but where I actually prefer to work, like the clients I prefer to work with, is those of you who are interested in getting your mobility better, getting your joints pain-free and becoming stronger. And that messaging separated me from the fat loss coach. And yes, there was other coaches that were in that as well, but again, it's getting better and better at that. So niching down, I think, is like one of the first things people think about, or think about, like, what's another business we could tie this to?
Think
give me a category. Give me
like
any.
property, because we've done that recently.
Right, so property. So it's like, right, within property, what is it you're doing within property? So what would are they a letting agency?
Yeah, let's go with letting agency.
Right, so letting agency. So it's like, why would you sell with that letting agency? Okay, the fees is one thing. The speed of the house sale is another thing.
Done for you.
How much time do you need to put in it? How likely is it that they're going to sell your house? They're all different things that it breaks down. So the four sort of key breakdowns or key points when you're building your offer is, what do they want, which would be like the dream outcome, is referred to in the Hormozy's book. The next one is showing the proof, so the likelihood that they're going to get that thing or they're going to have success. The next thing is then the time that's going to be involved. How fast do they get it? How much of their time is involved with it? And then how easy it is. So like, this would be like, is it simple to do, or is there a lot of time involved? And then there's other parts to this, like bonuses and guarantees, that we'll come on to in a wee sec. So breaking it down, the first one being the dream outcome, like what do the customers want? What's the client avatar that you're helping? So when we looked at ours, we're like, okay, let's help the business owner. Like, why would a business owner want to do a podcast? And that starts to narrow it down, the problems that we can help. So it's like, okay, they get a month's worth of content. We get to give them authority. It's like, can be testimonials. It can be frequently asked questions. So it makes a better connection point for their customers, etc. The next part would then be the why they'll trust at work. So we need to show proof. We need to show examples of where recording that content is actually leverage them more value in their business. Let's use another business example. So the personal training one, because I think that's an easy one for people. It's easy for me to speak to, but it's an easy one for people to think about. So dream outcome, I want to lose fat, or I want to get stronger. I don't want to be in pain. Okay, next point is the proof. How do I know that you can help me with that? Well, here's clients we've done there, or here's research that supports this way of training. Here's X, Y, and Z. The next one, how fast to get it. I like this one because the example that was used was, this is where you can charge so much money, or you can charge different prices in your offer. People will pay $10,000 privately, maybe sometimes more, to get liposuction. Still want to lose fat, they want to change their body shape, but they'll only pay £1,000 to $2,000 over the course of a year to go to a personal trainer. And it comes down to this part, which is how fast will they get it, and how likely is it that they'll, how much effort is involved in them doing it. One requires instant result, low effort. Another requires high effort, long duration.
Yeah.
And I would argue there's more points within that, but when it comes to your customer and the product that you're selling, that's really interesting to think about. Hearing that in his book made me go, right, how do we get that same result? Like, can one of our clients, one of our customers, click a button and we can just get them 30 pieces of content that's posted automatically? Like, that's what you should be striving towards. The last point on that one, so that's the 4 points: fast, simple, dream outcome. Lost my train of thought there. Yeah, dream outcome, the trust, how fast do they get it, and how much effort's involved with it. They're the 4 points.
I would agree.
Yeah. Is that cool story, bro?
No, you went over all of that. So
the next part is then enhancing the offer. So enhancements are like, I think one that's, we've not really added it to ours, but like a bonus stack. If you sign up today and with this, we'll throw in this for free. Rivals do something pretty good. They do, like, when you first sign up in the first place, you get your kit, you get your license for your martial arts, you get your boxing kit and boxing gloves. It's like that's thrown in for free, but it's worked into the price of the offer. Personal trainers used to throw in like a welcome t-shirt and some samples for the protein side of things. So think about what's other things you can give to that customer. We've not really worked on that. I'd probably say that's the one thing we still need to do.
I think it's sometimes easier when you've got a physical product like that. Like, I know Rivals is like a service, but they can add on a physical product. Like, if you're a shop and you sell stuff, you can add on like bonuses on your basket and stuff like that. But sometimes when you've got a service, it can be a bit more difficult.
Well, let's be creative. Let's do this kind of live in the podcast. So what's to say we can't still send them a t-shirt?
I personally, if I'm like, from working in a corporate place, I had agencies send me stuff and I'm like, cool.
Right, let me do this for you. It's like,
I like a notepad, but that's not going to make me sign up to you.
Yeah, but
that's not going to make me sign up to one agency over another.
So the sign up, it's not the main selling point of the sign up. It's that it's a good thing that creates goodwill with your customers.
I'd do that
with
a bit more if it
customer.
was like an encouragement of people to buy. Like, I think the Rivals thing, that's an encouragement for people to
I guess.
buy, because like if I go to a rival kickboxing, see what I did there? Who I get my kickboxing, and I have no idea what Rivals pricing is, so this might be completely wrong. Like, it's £90 a month.
So they're I think they're 30% higher than the average martial arts studio.
It doesn't matter. Like, I'm just saying, like, let's say they're £90 a month, and that's what I get 3 classes a week. And if I go next door, they're £80 a month, and I get 3 classes a week. I'm like, oh, what's the difference?
Yeah.
But I need to buy my kit, I need to buy my license, I need to do that with that one. Whereas if I go with them, yeah, it's more expensive each month, but I'm getting all that done. So that's what I mean. If we send t-shirts to try and encourage someone to
give
work
you a
with
dog.
us, that's not gonna.
But remember, we watched that video last night, and it's like, who wants to buy this book for £1,000?
Yeah.
And there's like 2 people signed up, and then he wrote his number in it. He's like, you now have private access to me. Who wants to buy this book? Some more people doing that. But he goes, I'll also throw in 3 months of working with your business for free, and we'll craft whatever it is. A bunch of other people came up. So for us, when it comes to content, it's like we're doing a lot of the stuff for them. But if we went, we'll also take care of your sales calls.
Yeah.
We'll take care of the first 5 sales calls. That might be an offer. It might be like we charge £300 for this training on how to post your content yourself or how to do other stuff. Throw that in for free. So be creative with that side of things.
Yeah, I think because there's stuff like that you can do, webinars, you can do stuff like that, which we maybe it takes us a couple hours to record, but we can send that webinar of how to schedule your content to 10 different people. So yeah, the work's been done up front, but you can then send that on to other people, which then helps in the long run.
Last 2 here is the guarantee and scarcity tactics. So guarantee is one that's really popped off over the last couple of years, but again, I think that's just with the rise of Hormozy and social media and that sort of stuff. So guarantee is like someone may have been burned with the service that you offer from another agency, and they write off going to a personal trainer doesn't work, using marketing content doesn't work, and the guarantee like gives that goodwill. And the way you craft that guarantee can be in so many different ways. So the main points is you can continue to work for free, you can give the money back, you can give credit back. There's various different ways of chopping it up, but I like the guarantee because it shows that it shows a bit of integrity to you're not just doing them over.
You're not just taking the money and being like, oh well, it never worked, oh well, what a shame. I think like one like we've said is like if we don't get you X amount of leads in 90 days, we'll work for free until we get you those leads.
Yeah. I think giving the money back though. So the only thing you need to watch out for is work for free or give money back. Two things that you need to think about there is the business owner still loses because they have inherited time and they've wasted another 3 months potentially if it doesn't work, or they 3 months of time, and then are they likely to work with you if you never delivered the result in 3 months as well. So it's all that to like really think about. The last one, scarcity, only 5 spots left, is like a nice common one. But it drives, like when you look at those countdown emails, like that get so many people by. We've got that with one of our clients that's got a music event coming up. Is that right? Is that, would you say music event?
A gig.
A gig, sorry.
Dale does not like live music.
So he's got a gig coming up and a bunch of people bought at the start, but as we count down to this, more and more people are signing up to it, which is it's just human nature at the end of the day.
I think it's well, like you see it with a lot of marketing people or like video people or content, it's like, oh, I've only got 3 more spots left for content sessions this month. And sometimes, like, I don't know about you, but I look at that, right? And I'm like, just make more time. Like, and I don't know if that's just because me and you like
just fucking work harder.
Stop being a bitch. Like, just go do it. Like,
stop signing off at 4 o'clock on a Friday.
Like sometimes I've thought, I'm like, oh, maybe we could use that as a marketing technique, and I'm sure a lot of them is marketing techniques, because if someone said to us like, unless we were doing,
no, you say I've got 5 spots left, 10 people sign up. They don't know.
I know, and I get that, but it's just like a lot of the time I see it and I'm like, just add another spot. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I always remember like a PT I used to know on the gym floor, and he's like, yeah, I'm fully booked. And then I was in the same gym, and I was at capacity. I was 11 sessions a day, 10 sessions a day. I was like, I barely see you. How are you fully booked? He's like, oh, only 23 hours a day. And I was like, yeah, but you know what I mean? That gave him the status to say that he was fully booked, and like it did create
people's capacity is different, which I get that. But I think sometimes like when you're building a business, and I don't know if it's maybe like we are 2 young people, don't have children and stuff like that might change when we do have a family, because we can't maybe do as many, but then the aim is we'll have more team members, whatever. But like, I don't know, I'm just like, just
fucking work harder.
If someone just
stop being a bitch.
It's so bad.
You quit your job to own your own business, and
So
you're
just
fucking
do it.
half-arsing that. Get
if
your
you're
finger
gonna
out
say,
your arse.
no, sorry, I'm full, don't be full, just add in another slot.
Well, here's where scarcity would work, right? So in an example of building our own business, we've created our offer. So the next part in the next episode we do here is how do we get clients? Our scarcity offer, I was thinking about the other day, was we could email the contacts that we know and go, hey everybody, like we're going to be doing this thing over here. If anybody wants to trial out and be one of our first trial clients going through this, then let us know. We only have 3 spots, and that creates scarcity. And we might do 5, we might do 6, or we might only do 3. But but I think but I think there is something to be said about your integrity. And I never really liked, I've only got 5 spots left, and then signing up 10 people. It's like, stop being a dick and just be truthful about what you're saying. But the advice usually is that if you only have capacity to sign up 2 more clients, let people know that. If you only have capacity to sign up 10 clients, then, or you only bring people on 10 at a time every quarter, then just communicate it, because you'll be very surprised in the reaction that you get to your audience. So I think that was all the points to crafting the offer. I think a nice little statement that I forgot to say at the start was, when it comes to advertising, 80 cents of your dollar is spent on the title, is spent on that first offer, it's spent on the interaction piece. That comes from, I forget the book, it's like an old school marketer. But yeah, basically like 80, like your offer is that first introduction, like the first reaction to someone deciding if they're going to work with you or not. And there's obviously other things like your content and all that sort of thing, but if you've not spent time on your offer and you've rushed that part and you're just like, we do podcast services, you're leaving so much potential on the table. How many people went to other podcast studios?
Yeah, like they went to other podcast studios, or we've had podcast clients who've went to other marketing people to do on-site content, and
Because they don't know
like
what
we
do.
don't say to them and like, what the fuck are you doing? Because like it's their own choice, but it's like they'll then see us doing this and I'm like, I don't know you done that, and it's like we've left clients just sitting there like that we could have got so much more from and built a better relationship because we never told them we can do this for you.
Tell people what you do. Right, like it all starts with look at your customer. What is their pain point? What is their pain points? And start crafting that into your content, your messaging, and your offer.
I think like one thing to probably end it on, like if you're a business owner already or if you're a new one, if you can't say I help X get X by doing X in one line, so I help clients get more leads by great content, that's really
Business owners.
I help business I can't say it. I help business owners get more leads by creating compelling content. That is an offer
It's just
line. If you can't do that if you take your business as an example, whatever your business is, if you can't do that in one line, that's where you need to start. Because if you can't do it and you can't explain to your mum, your dad, your siblings, your friends on what you actually do in one line, how our customers meant to
it's like
understand.
the whole elevator pitch thing. Don't overcomplicate it as well. Like
just keep it one line.
Speak it how it is. It's like, right, what do you do? It's like, like I help people with health and fitness, right? Get down to a deeper level. Like, what do you specifically help with? We'll actually train them one-to-one. Like, get to the specifics of the product, not the camera quality or the camera, like actually in what's the physical point of you doing what you do.
I think this also goes, like, it's not even just for business owners, it's for like, because I remember, this is like now sidetracking, but I remember when we were on our honeymoon, and it's not that I didn't like my job, it was just like, people ask like, oh, what do you do?
No, you didn't like it.
No, well, it was a place for people, I didn't mind it, it was fine. I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Fucking name dropped them and everything. Jeez,
I did like it, I just like didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was on post-wedding blues.
Yeah.
But I went, like someone said, what do you do? And I was like, I do marketing. And like at the point, because I think it was on post-wedding blues, I was like, I want to open my wedding dress shop. I want to become a wedding planner. Everything was focused around weddings. That's what I wanted to do. But so when I was saying I just do marketing, like even that, like if someone's in a corporate job and they're wanting to progress or wanting to go to a different company and you say, I do marketing, I do learning and development, I do finance, it's like, no, I help our business. I'm going to try and do what I used to do. I used to help places for people raise their social enterprise profile by compelling content, stuff like that. That's what you do, and that's how you like sell yourself. It's like not even just an offer of your business, it's an offer of yourself.
But that's what, like, you start with that and then you go down to another level. Like if you look at some of the stuff you've done, it's like, well, the goal of that was to get people who are interested in those properties to buy the properties. That's really what it came down to. So you would go to a deeper level. It's like, I get people to read our emails and click book an appointment. You dumb it all the way down. You go all the way down. That's good.
And it's again, like I feel like Rivals and Scott's really good at it because they say like we help change lives of kids by martial arts. Whereas it's not just like we do
3 kickboxing classes a week.
Like that's not what they do. Like, and I remember having that conversation with Scott.
It's good.
That's a complete side note.
Hopefully you enjoyed that episode. It was fun to record. Like again, another spontaneous one. We had this planned for next week, but ended up just doing it this week. And yeah, I think the call to action here for you guys is, look, best way you can support us, because it's a new podcast episode or new podcast channel, you can subscribe on YouTube at Bulletproof Studios is the Bulletproof username, or just type in Bulletproof Studios. Somebody's got it, which is annoying. You can follow us on Instagram at Bulletproof Studios __. And if you're listening on Spotify, I'd probably say this is the easiest and biggest one that you could do to support us, is click the 3 wee dots and click rate show and leave a 5-star rating if you're enjoying us. On Spotify now you can leave comments. You can leave comments on YouTube. So we'd love to hear back from you guys as business owners, like what's some of the challenges that you're facing when it comes to maybe creating your offer or when it comes to the content and the marketing component. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Yeah. Anything?
I was going to say that as well, if you've got any questions in general, like if you don't want to put them on Spotify, feel free to drop us a message on Instagram or wherever else, and we can always do a wee Q&A segment in the next episode.
Or you can email us at info@bulletproofstudios.co. That's it. Cooper,
not
stop licking your arse.
.com, just that confuses people. But yeah, thanks for listening.
See you guys soon.